On January 14, 1761, the plains of Panipat became a graveyard for thousands, buried under thick, lingering fog. Before this ruin, the Marathas commanded an unstoppable force. Between 40 and 60,000 trained soldiers had marched north, intent on entirely eradicating Mughal supremacy across the subcontinent. They carried a devastating technological edge. Under Commander Ibrahim Khan Gardi, their heavy artillery and trained infantry were designed to obliterate traditional cavalry formations from a distance. Yet, in a matter of hours, that entire war machine was dismantled. Up to 70,000 Marathas lay dead, and their sprawling camp was reduced to ash. To understand this massacre, we have to look past the cannons. The Marathas suffered a complete structural collapse weeks before a single shot was fired on this battlefield. The morning of January 14th began with a heavy Maratha assault. Gardi's cannons fired accurately over a range of 500 to 800 meters, successfully driving back the opposing Afghan front line. But they made a fatal error. The Maratha center pushed out too fast, breaking their defensive line and leaving their flanks exposed. Abdali saw the gap. His mobile cavalry swept around the vulnerable edges in a crushing pincer maneuver. The breaking point hit when Vishwasrao, the symbolic Maratha heir, was struck down, instantly shattering their command coordination. Panic rippled through the ranks. Without coordinated leadership, the aggressive Maratha charge stalled, leaving them boxed in by the encroaching cavalry with zero routes for retreat. But this begs a vital question. Why would a disciplined, heavily armed military abandon their tight defensive lines to launch a reckless, suicidal daytime charge? Abdali's cavalry merely executed a force that had already been crippled by an entirely different weapon. Rewind a few weeks. The Marathas had successfully captured Delhi, claiming the seat of Mughal power, but taking the city stretched their forces dangerously thin. Their supply line now spanned thousands of miles, running all the way back south to Maharashtra. Worse, this fragile artery had to support an immense baggage train filled with families, merchants, and other non-combatants. Abdali knew he didn't need to fight this massive host directly. Instead of matching their firepower, he waited, deploying a strategy of strict containment. He seized control of the Yamuna River and the surrounding supply routes. By holding this geographic barrier, Abdali completely severed the Marathas' access to incoming grain, animal fodder, and allied reinforcements. Locked in their camp at Panipat, the Maratha army began to starve. Horses died from lack of grass, while exhaustion and severe hunger ate away at the soldiers' physical strength and morale over several brutal weeks. The events of January 14 suddenly look very different. The aggressive forward charge resulted from sheer desperation. It was a chaotic breakout attempt by an army out of food and time. Starvation forced their hand, pushing them into an exposed tactical error. Geography and a choked supply line were the actual weapons that killed the Maratha forces. The destruction at Panipat dealt a severe blow to the Maratha Empire. Their northern expansion stalled completely, halting their momentum for years as they struggled to rebuild their military structure. Yet the victor gained little. Abdali's own forces suffered heavy casualties in the melee. Unwilling to establish a permanent government, he abandoned the conquered territory and marched home. This mutual destruction gutted the existing power structures, leaving a massive political vacuum in North India. This fractured landscape allowed entirely new powers to step in and claim dominance in the decades that followed. The true lesson of Panipat is written in the weeks before the bloodshed. Superior artillery and massive troop counts mean nothing if you can't feed your soldiers. Ultimately, logistics and strategic patience win the war. If you enjoyed this breakdown of real war history, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below to let us know which historical battle we should investigate next.